Tylko jedno w głowie mam, koksu 5 gram, odlecieć sam w krainę zapomnienia. W głowie myśli mam, kiedy skończy się ten stan, gdy Gen Z humor.
Why is this funny? More importantly, why does this even exist? We're here to find out. But first, let's get to know more about the Gen Z. The post-millennial group of 1997 to 2012 babies born in the age of internet is known as the Generation Z. Gen Z can laugh off of extremely horrifying and traumatizing real life goings on because in the end they feel that there's no other alternative and it's their coping mechanism. Gen Z humor is very fast paced. Their memes last for only 4 to 5 days. But there are some exceptions like Sid and Shrek and some themes of Gen Z humor are nihilism, satire, dark humor, and multi-layered memes. The essence of Gen Z humor can be summarized as it's funny because it does not make any sense.
Then he waddled away, waddle waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle waddle.
Oh, that's really something. The humor of the Gen Z is really different from the humor of any other previous generations because as far as I can remember, the essence of millennial humor was it's funny because it's relatable. People tend to combine the humor of the millennials with the humor of the Gen Z, and trust me, the humor of these both generations is as different as any other two things can be. The first point of difference being, the millennials mostly resonate with the humor stemming from everyday problems like the workspace and relationship, and when they make memes about it, they become popular as they are relatable to a whole host of generation. Popularity, whoa, that's a big no-no for the Gen Z, as it's well known that Gen Z hates anything that's popular. That's because when a meme template becomes popular, it gains mainstream attention and it gets overused to a point of total saturation. Now, as being a member of Gen Z, if I have to become cool, then I have to do something that's unpopular right now, then only I'll be considered cool. Now, another point of difference between the Gen Z and millennial humor is that millennials have 0 to 1 levels of irony in them, whereas the memes of the Gen Z have 2 to 3 levels of irony.
Then he waddled away, waddle waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle waddle.
Now that was an interesting topic. And let us learn more about how irony has evolved, how Gen Z uses it. And I'll be focusing on the layers of irony in this ironic video in a very unironic way. Now how ironic is that, huh? I'll be citing the famous YouTuber Greg a lot since he explains these layers really well. Identifying these layers, we would have layer 0 first. That is sincerity or pre-irony, which provides a base of reality so that people can identify what is being subverted into irony, aka the truth statement. For example, I tell my friend who's vacuuming his room that just that won't clean your room. And I really mean that he needs to clear and set things properly so that his room looks clean. The meaning of the sentence is clear and straightforward. Next, for layer 1 is plain irony, simply the exaggerated opposite of sincerity. The above example now becomes, it sure is getting clean here. Where I mean to say that the room isn't getting much cleaner at all. Also, there are many types in irony itself too. There's dramatic irony, there's situational irony, and then verbal irony, which is sarcasm. These are used differently in different writing and composing styles. But you see, knowing this one layer of irony is just not enough to explore the quirky world of Gen Z. We covered layer 0 sincerity and layer 1 irony. So we have layer 2 as post-irony. This can be considered as sincerity after mudding it with irony. Like, wow, this room is messed up. It's not like I find comfort in messy rooms, huh? Here we get the message that the room isn't much clean, with the appearance that I'm being ironic. Then comes our favorite, meta-irony, that is layer 3, which is a form of post-irony itself, just that the creator doesn't know the layer 0 or is conveying it in a way that makes it impossible to recognize what layer 0 is. So it really is like pointless. You'll wonder, well, why even say it then? But the answer to this can be to gauge people's reactions. For example, we can mold our earlier sentence into, "Damn, your room looks so good. I'm sure I can do cartwheels in here." Now the audience is really confused. Like, is it really true, or are you just saying it ironically? All of this makes a concept of irony.
Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle.
A meme with more than 2 levels of irony takes the form of Schrodinger's meme, where the origin of the meme must be known to know the number of levels of irony, and hence the meme is both unironic and ironic, funny and not funny at the same time. Now here lies the conundrum. Suppose you encounter a minion meme in a vacuum and do not know where it's from, you cannot determine the number of levels of irony. If a boomer posted the meme on a Facebook page meant for boomers, the meme only has 0 or 1 level of irony and is not considered funny by Gen Z. But if the same meme was posted by a dank meme page on Instagram or Reddit, we find that hilarious, as it has anywhere from 2 to 4 levels of irony. Gen Z often uses this phenomenon to make jokes on dark and taboo topics such as suicide, terrorism, and school shootings. Being born in a world where tragic events such as 9/11 have already happened, and being constantly flooded with messages of impending doom and the latest generation being the one to save the whole world, Zoomers use memes as a coping mechanism to share their dread and feel a sense of relief. However nihilistic they may seem, they are often light-hearted and are intended to make fun of the absurdity of the situation and not the people dealing with the stress caused by it. The popularity of these memes also shows the awareness and acknowledgement of social issues and Zoomers' hope for a better world.
Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle.
So what we have discussed so far is that Gen Z is a generation that was born in the age of internet, where the world is just one click away. As a result of which, this generation is always exposed to the humor that is in trend, and it is so fast paced that what might be trending today might not even be relevant tomorrow. Also, dark humor associated with mental health issues coupled with layers of irony is very much popular among this generation, as this is the generation that registers the highest number of mental health issues such as depression and anxiety. So at the end, what we could say is that gone are the days when humor was defined as if it makes sense then it's humorous. For Gen Z, it goes like even if it does not make sense, it's still humorous.
A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bump, 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 got any grapes?" The man said, "No, we just sell lemonade, but it's cold and it's fresh and it's all homemade. Can I get you a glass?" The duck said, "I'll pass." Then he waddled away,